Oh my god.
Yay.
We're back at it.
Yay.
In a month.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Woo! This is crazy. I'm super nervous.
Here we are again.
At it again.
Back at it again with the white vans. Damn, Daniel. Remember that?
Nope.
No, why
Pepperidge
don't you
Farm
explain
remembers.
Jacob,
Well,
I
you see,
don't know what you're talking about.
it?
you've been asleep for 30 years.
Oh no.
Jacob, we already finished Icewind Dale. We're on our next campaign.
Oh, thank God. See you guys later.
It took us 30 years.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
Honestly, we finished in record time.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. Things are looking a bit different. We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about before we get started, but this is our second live stream campaign. Last one was Shar Nice that we started about a year and a half ago. Wrapped up just a couple weeks back, did a few one-shots, and then now we're here. We have been sitting on this campaign since the summer, waiting to get started.
Biding our time.
Super excited. Except for Alex, he just made his character like last week, so.
That's very Alan.
We're just gonna jump right into it. We're just super eager to play. We've got some gaslighting Jacob is funny. Says Emily.
You know what's just funny? Banning my girlfriend from chat. Hold on a second.
I've got some hella announcements of just everything, so it's been so long. So I'm just gonna start running down this list. It's a long list. So first off, thank you to everyone who is here. Will be here. We'll watch this in the past. Or no, we'll watch this in the future. We're currently in the past.
If you're watching this in the past, please let us know how.
Yeah, what happened?
If you're watching this in the past, I bet you thought my damn Daniel joke was really funny.
Nobody thought that your damn Daniel was really funny.
So thank you to everyone who is going to be
Travis.
watching this. Thank you to all of my subscribers and Patreon supporters and everyone for being so patient the past few weeks because of holidays and getting geared up for this campaign. I've been devoting almost all of my energy to preparing for this and preparing for some other fun stuff. But this week I'm going to be back to all my normal Patreon postings and all my normal business I'm typically doing. So thank you all for your patience and for being here. We love you so much. As far as Shadows over Drift Chapel is concerned, my other D&D live stream, you may have noticed we haven't played in a month and a half. Apparently the month of November was just a bad month for everyone. Because this campaign wasn't happening yet, and then my other two D&D campaigns basically didn't play because of scheduling. Don't know what happened. Don't know if Mars was in retrograde or something, or whatever the joke is. Mercury. It's Mercury's in retrograde. So sorry about that. We were trying to figure out some alternatives, and so last week we recorded our session 16 to go up on YouTube this Friday, and then next Friday we'll be, fingers crossed, playing live again on the 17th for our 17th session, but the rest of the month of December will be off, and then in the new year, I have no idea what's happening because people are starting their new semesters in school and New Year's at their jobs and things, so...
And then, by then, Uranus will be in Gatorade.
Yo, I'm drinking Gatorade right now. That's crazy.
I wouldn't drink that if I were you.
Uranus is in Gatorade.
Poo-poo flavor.
Hey, Goop.
Oh, no,
Give me
no.
a gooey fart.
No, please, no.
No, what else has been on the footage? Those are some words. Yes, I'm getting to that one. So just keep an eye out on all of the various social medias and my Twitch channel and Discord and all this stuff about what's happening with Shadows over Drift Chapel, but at the very least you'll be able to see our faces this Friday on YouTube. I did a little bit of editing in the video, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We made a lot of references to some intellectual properties, so there's a whole lot of that flashing on the screen every once in a while. We make a lot of like Simpsons jokes for some reason, and we make a lot of Home Depot jokes. So we had to keep reminding ourselves we are not sponsored by Home Depot.
That's
It was a weird
Sponsored by
session.
Lowe's.
Sponsored by Lowe's. Sponsored by Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Coffee and Cozy Grove is getting started back up this week because, of course, it hasn't happened the last 2 weeks. Gonna get started back up Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 a.m. ish to whenever ish. We just sit, chat, drink coffee, and play Cozy Grove and just relax and help ghost bears find peace in the afterlife.
That was a sentence.
Ghosts or bears too.
That's the
What's
game.
the-
It's awesome.
What is the game that we were playing after Cozy Grove?
Probably Alan Wake, the American Nightmare, because I never finished it.
Ooh.
America is a nightmare.
It.
It's got that right, Alan Wake.
Thanks, Alan Wake. Thanks, Alan.
Yeah.
Can someone make a mod? Can someone code a mod that it just replaces all the character models for Alan Wake with just Alan?
It's just me getting up.
But also
Just-
like voice lines,
poorly.
so like they're doing all this exposition, and the NPCs are talking. Then it's just like an Alan voice line that says,
And he goes,
"Wait,
"Hey."
what?"
I mean, we have dozens of hours of recorded footage of Alan.
Yo, we can make
so
an
it's-
Alan AI.
Yeah.
Let's just. I want you to replace just Alan Wake's face with like a really like shitty like Nintendo 64 polygonal era like face model of Alan, like from like the old James Bond game.
Make a GTA remastered version of me.
Yeah, just a deep fake. Love it.
It'll run really poorly too.
It'll run really poorly. Speaking of taking a break for the last half of November, I'm getting back into Patreon this week. So if you don't know about my Patreon, for the low cost of a Wendy's 4 for 4 each month, you get all sorts of D&D monsters and subclasses and campaign starters and cool NPCs and magical items, and I have a whole list of things to go through. But there's a whole backlog of stuff that you can go get for the $4.
PS1 Harry Potter Alan. That's a good one. Thank you, Richard.
That's really good. If you are less in the realm of watching actual plays, you're more in the realm of just looking at fun D&D content and reading through some stuff, my Patreon is for you. So go check that out, and I've got some cool stuff coming up. I'm taking a more narrative approach to some things, some more adventure ideas, campaign ideas, character ideas, fun stuff like that. Also, after the new year, one of the many projects I've got in store for the world, I'm getting... It didn't help. It helped. I'm starting professionally DMing again through startplaying.games. The first thing I am starting up is a multi-week series of Call of Cthulhu one-shots. There's going to be about 4 different ones, maybe 2 extras, depending on if I can make it happen. One shot, so you can just sign up, learn how to play Call of Cthulhu. There's 2 variant pre-made character options, so you can either jump in with a fully fleshed out character, fit with artwork and stats and a backstory, or just the numbers, and then you can make your character on top of those numbers. So that way you can have fun with it and try out all the different things, different occupations, and different characters. Plus all sorts of maps and art references and just interactive handouts. I'm doing all the work. So it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. So I'll be posting about that come close time to January once I get all those rolling. And then after that, I had a brain blast a few days ago about a D&D thing I want to do through Start Playing. I'm already doing way too many D&D things already, but with Start Playing, it's more organized. It's a little more engaging, a little more interactive. And so there's a D&D thing I'm going to be doing that most of these folks will find a bit familiar. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I'm very excited for it. Top of that, with all of that in mind, a few of the keywords I said were Twitch, Patreon, and startplaying.games. my Discord server is more up and running than it has been. Originally, it was just a way for me to organize all of my D&D folks into one building, basically. I locked them into cells and told them to stay here, don't move, and react to my messages. And now it's a community. I let them out of their cells to mingle with one another.
Yeah.
I don't like
Our
this
muscles
metaphor.
are atrophied,
I
but
don't
you know
like
we can
that
drag
metaphor.
ourselves along the ground and like play cards or something.
That metaphor, that was awful. I'm so sorry for that.
No, I quite enjoyed it.
Let's say, if you subscribe to my stuff, you will not become a prisoner. I promise.
A
But-
prisoner to good content.
Yes.
Wow.
So my Patreon supporters, you get access to my Discord. Twitch subscribers, I'm going to be sending out invites this week. So if you have a Twitch subscription, you'll get an invite to my Discord. And for frequent players on StartPlaying.games in the new year, we'll also get invites. Essentially just a place for us to hang out, talk about tabletop RPGs, play games together, do all sorts of stuff, have little roundtable chats and all this kind of stuff, plus discounts and free things in the realm of what I do, particularly discounted or free seats through StartPlaying.games. Should be lots of fun. You can start just playing some games at no cost. But that won't be super up and like really get going until the new year, because once I get all those projects up, then we can really get involved with it. But if you're interested in that, subscribe through either Twitch or Patreon, or that's it for right now. Eventually start playing games. Sorry about that. That was really anticlimactic.
You can subscribe to YouTube as well if you wanted to.
Yes! You can subscribe to my YouTube. All the Sharn Knights VODs are up. You can check all those out. Shadows of Chapel VODs are up. Sharn Knights one-shots are up. Even that The Milkman Cometh Call of Cthulhu one-shot. That wasn't the actual name, but that's what it was. That one-shot is up. And potentially, depending on what Shadows of Drift Chapel ends up being, that might be where you find our Shadows of Drift Chapel campaign in the future. So go check that out if you want a nice backlog of whatever nonsense. You can also watch the starting point of all of this, literally like day one streaming stuff. The other thing I was going to announce, man, it's just been going on forever, is emotes. Man, Jacob gifting all the subs, and I'm missing all this thing. Don't you shitty it's 64 in the same sentence.
Bro, I grew up on the N64. Those models ain't good.
Oh, what's up, Drew? Yes, sad tear for Shadows over Drift Chapel for the moment, but we're gonna figure it out. Scheduling sometimes just cannot be helped. And thank you for following Archer Astatine01. Astatine? Astatine?
Who knows?
Astatine sounds pretty good. Did I miss any others? All I'm seeing is these gift subs from Jacob. And hydrates and posture. Oh, that's from way before. So in that same realm of on Twitch, we got some updates to the things you get. There are follower emotes now. Some of them you might recognize from Meatmorp's channel, such as the Oh No emote or the Sir emote. Those are classic. There's also now follower emotes. There's a few extra subscriber emotes. There's some bit emotes, which I believe are the Sharn Knights emotes. So it is a Spike, a Say Less, and the Bobby Needs a Win emotes. If you spend bits, you can get those now retired but iconic emotes for your own personal use. And on top of that, if you just have an excess of tings, you can start using those to unlock some of our emotes. Rather than spending money, you can save up some tings and use them. So keep an eye out for that. If you have an idea for an emote based off what we do, suggest an emote. That's nothing you do with your tings, because I have currently like 17 emotes, but I have 55 slots. So suggest emotes. Just throw them out there. I'll see if I can make it happen. It's really just throwing it at the wall and seeing what
We
sticks.
got to get new ones for the new characters.
I know. I was gonna start making some. And I was like, you know what? We'll play at least the first session, and then we'll get in there. And because of a trend I noticed in Shar Nights of people hoarding tings, there's a few extra things you can do with them, such as the emote stuff. But I also raised the prices of some things, changed some stuff around. So sort of the game-changing ones, the prices have gone up. The Inspire has changed a little bit. We can talk about that once it starts happening, but it's added into a pool that the players have access to. So yes, so what Travis just did, he added an inspiration to our pool, or their pool. But
Cool.
they still have to earn that point of inspiration by doing something in-game with their characters, or there's a few like meta options as well.
Yeah, like Venmoing Logan.
He's kidding.
I mean,
Maybe.
Oh,
but
I need to continue myself. Thanks for reminding
so
me.
basically, all of your inspirations, they add up in the arsenal, but they have to do some special stuff to get a hold of them. They can only have one at a time, so they're encouraged to use them and get some more. Flashback is still the same. I thought about turning it off for the first session, but why not? The Something Happens price went up a little bit. And then finally, Pay Oleg was replaced with Sacrifice. You'll see why that is important once we start playing the game, but it is a sacrifice to Arl the Frostmaiden, a divine incarnate of winter itself. So yeah, and then we also have predictions and polls for you to use tings for, so plenty of stuff so you don't have to hoard those anymore. Oh man, I'm tired. Maybe we should stay. Is that the end of the session? We good?
Thank you all for joining us.
Yep, that's
This was,
it. All right, thank you
a
guys.
great
We'll
first
see. The
look.
VOD will be up on YouTube. Oh man, I am pooped. But not necessarily an announcement, but a thing that's just going to happen here in a second. We have an intro video now. So now there's no more awkward segues into actually playing. We just roll the intro and go with it. Is everyone ready?
Right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Ready? Alrighty.
It's time to start the Dale after tomorrow.
Okay. So,
It was a dark and stormy night.
it is a snowy mid-afternoon. Daylight in Icewind Dale is not necessarily even daylight. It is dusk, and it lasts from a measly 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and then it gets dark again. It is dark now, and this is for everyone except Norm. The White Lady Inn is this musty, historic inn in East Haven. It has a wind-beaten sign with this kind of haunting illustration of a woman in this flowing white dress. But as you go inside, the interior of the inn is just like any other. There's a burning fireplace, some sulking guests at their tables, and a halfling bard plucking at his fiddle. There's an elderly innkeeper that's tending some of the tables, and as this big lot of people walks through the door, you see his shoulders drop. He pushes his glasses up, sighs, and looks back up at you all and says, "Eating, staying, or both?"
I think both, right?
Yeah, why not?
Well, my name is Bartabin, and you're more than welcome to stay. But I have to ask that you go visit the town hall first. You need to get registered for the town lottery. can't have any trouble happening here, and I don't want my inn getting in trouble, and I don't want you to cause any trouble as well. Once you sign up, perfectly fine to stay here.
A town lottery. What do you win?
I think this is one of those ones we found earlier where they kill people.
You win your life, lad.
Yeah, no. Nah, I'm good.
Then you'll have to stay outside then. But if the rest of you are willing to go, we actually got a newcomer here as well. If you're willing to walk with him over there too. I don't know if he signed up either.
Whereabouts?
I'll fetch him. A few moments pass. He hobbles up the stairs to the rooms, and at his descent, you hear the bit of hobbling steps, but you more hear creaking down the wooden steps of the inn as you see this massive, hairy, very tall, yak-looking man step down and gestures to you, Norm, and then gestures to his group standing here and says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go with them back to the town hall and register for the lottery." You're muted, Alan.
Now?
Yes, if you're going to continue staying here, yes, now.
Can I pee?
Yes, it's that door.
I take that door.
All right. So that's cool. His what was his name?
Hold on. Flips, walks over to a ledger, flips through it. Norm?
Norm. All right.
Alfea? Alphala? Something.
Okay.
Okay.
He just arrived into town too. Apparently he already went to the town hall, but didn't seem like he had been registered yet.
Truly all types out here.
I wash my hands.
I want to pull the party aside a little bit and just say, like, look, I don't much like the idea of putting our names down in this thing.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we can just walk over there and come right back around. It's no big deal.
I'm sure they're going to check.
I mean, hey, how is he gonna? Does he have a database over there, like a ledger? that
What
they
are you
just-
talking about? Oh, yes, yeah.
Louis, it's a small town.
I mean,
I was just going to write that Norm fellow's name down for mine.
that's actually kind of funny. I was going to do the same thing.
If we all write Norm, that'd be hilarious.
Norm's family, all of us. That sounds fun.
I mean, it would be hilarious up until the point that his name gets chosen because there's like 6 people who put his name down.
I
We
come
met him
out
5
of the
minutes ago.
bathroom.
Oh, hi. Hi,
Condemning a
Norm.
man to death.
Hey, Norm. What's up? How you doing?
And Norm takes an index card out of his pocket
What is he doing?
and he reads, "Hello, 10 townsmen / woman and or Dale Ians. I am insert name here. Norm
Okay.
Alphala of the
Mhm.
nearby Yak Village. Please do not fear me. My appearance may be there's a hyphen. Assuming and frightening for you, but it is every day for me. I'm coming."
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool.
In peace.
Oh.
There's more.
All right.
It seems like a very bad place to pause, but
am
All right.
an ambassador and representative of Yak Village,
Yak Village.
otherwise known as the Y. Sent here on a mission. I read the wrong one. Sent here on a mission of exploration and diplomacy. How are things? You may respond.
Okay.
And I put the card back in my pocket.
did any of you ever go to school and you read things from a book and then you were reading a play or something and then someone read the stage directions in the play? Because that's how I feel like that just went.
That is not at all relatable to me.
Yeah. How about we ask first who can read? You didn't ask that question.
I'm sorry, that was rather presumptuous of me. I apologize.
It was slightly.
Norm is standing, looking at you all, and just having his hand out as if he's waving, but he's not moving it.
Okay. Are you trying to high five? I high five you. I'm like, hey man, how you doing? I had to jump a little bit, I guess.
Norm, from your perspective, this group of individuals is comprised of two that are close to your height, probably. The others more average, like sort of humanoid height. But they're, of course, all bundled up to the point where you can only kind of see some vague semblance of the kind of person they might be just getting off the road. But Norm, you hear a voice off to the side say, "Hey, Mr. Alphala," and you turn to see the halfling bard Ronaldo with his swept-back brown hair, his little fiddle and furs, and he says, "You're still planning on coming to the séance tonight, I assume?"
Did you find that white woman?
She'll be there tonight, as long as you're there. And you know what? Bring your friends, but I couldn't help it over here. If you're gonna be heading over to get registered, you may want to pick up the pace a bit. It can be take a little time filling out all that information, bureaucracy and all that.
And I turn to the group, and I ask all of you, are you my friends?
Sure, friend.
I mean, I suppose I see no reason not to.
You're kind of cute.
I'm
Let's
your
go ahead.
prince.
No way.
I'm just
Already? So fast!
Someone clip that and make it the first Louis.
The first
We're gonna keep a Louis tracker.
Louis tracker.
Oh, Louis.
You guys want to check out a white woman?
I mean,
Come again.
I need.
no. It's fine.
I need you
Yeah.
to explain.
You really don't though.
I do. I really do.
Hey yo, where the white women?
That's what I was thinking in my head!
Well, it's been a nice campaign, guys.
All right,
Let's
it's
go
all
home.
sailed.
I think she's swimming in a lake.
Okay. It's I'm curious how
is
that's
that right,
possible. Isn't it
Ronaldo?
kind of frozen?
So
I don't-
Ronaldo steps in. He's this little halfling, steps in the middle of this much larger group, and he says, "The White Lady is a spirit that haunts the lake. You could sometimes see her floating across the water, but I know how to be able to communicate to her, call her from her misty waters, and bestow us with hidden knowledge."
I am going to go out on a limb and say that calling spirits is not a smart thing, regardless of how well it's gone so far, but that's just me.
Depends how attractive she is.
It's okay, she might not be.
I mean, it's I mean, this may be something culturally significant for them. We shouldn't disparage it until we know what.
She lives at the bottom of the lake.
Well, she
Perhaps she's some form of
floats on
aquatic
the
creature,
lake.
like.
And actually, it's funny you ask about the bottom of the lake, because the story has it is that her deceased husband had a boat full of treasure that sank to the bottom of the lake. So there's thousands, maybe millions of gold and jewels and silver just there at the bottom of the frozen lake.
Is he white?
Yeah, well,
You can't just ask people. You can't just ask people.
I
That.
mean, it's a description. You got to find out, I guess, how he how he looks.
Well, if she lives at the bottom of the lake, wouldn't she know if there's gold down
That's
there?
true.
Like,
Did you ask her?
yeah, did you ask?
Oh, well, I haven't, but you sure could.
You haven't, but you know how to
That would
call
have
her.
been like my first question.
I am
or
curious about
Maybe
this, yeah.
second.
Treasure isn't my interest.
Did you talk to her when you call her up?
Yeah, how do you summon the white women?
I'm.
I gotta go.
Perhaps some Taylor
There's a-
Swift.
I
In the words of Commander Shepard, I'm gonna go.
Do you just say,
I should go.
I should go.
hey, you, lady, please come over here? Or just like, hey, where you at?
I channel her like a vessel. Sometimes she speaks through me.
Same.
I'm sort of the sort of like mages have a spellcasting focus. I am like the focus to the Lady of the Lake.
How did you gain such import in her life, or afterlife, so to speak?
Oh, we'll call it some bardic knowledge.
Interesting.
I'll say I don't know what that is. However, we this whole registering thing sounds real cool. Except the other day, we stayed not here, so I would love to just not stay here again.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, registering.
I mean, if we really want to avoid staying in the inn, I can, thanks to a blessing I received from the Chwengas previously, I can project some kind of magical barrier for us to rest in, but I can only do that 3 times.
3 times ever?
Yes.
Like in life?
I can cast Lehman's Tiny Hut 3 times.
Well, that's crazy. I've never heard that before. However, I do have to say that sounds interesting. But we actually stayed in a different tavern. Like.
Well, wasn't that in a different? That was in a
Did not
different
stay
town.
in East
Oh, did we not?
I think
That's-
anywhere we go in East
I
Haven,
thought we went to
we're gonna have the
North Look
same
Tavern. I might be wrong.
Does it have to be a tiny hut?
Yeah, how big is this tiny hut?
I mean, it's big enough for all of us.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
to cuddle.
Can I get the largest room? I pulled
There's
it.
no
just-
room.
Can I get the largest room?
There's
I
no.
feel like
room.
you're really overestimating the capabilities of this spell. It is a tiny hut.
Okay.
You don't
So
have to
we
say it
would-
in front of them. I can get the largest room.
I understand. Is there a bathroom in this little area, or
There is a
I feel as
bathroom
though-
right there.
Yeah, Norm
Did the
just
pipes
used
get
it.
backed up?
If we just plant our tiny hut outside and just come in here to use the bathroom, that's fine.
yeah, sounds good to me. All right, well, I feel like this is a public bathroom, considering Norm just like walked down and. Well, Norm, have you stayed here? He walked from somewhere, right?
Yeah, Norm, you got into town like this morning.
Yes, I am
Look-
here.
Okay, cool. I mean, we could. Thanks, Norm. That was real informative. Norm, give me a complete sentence, not dealing with the note card.
Good night.
That's not a complete. I'll take it. You know what?
Well, technically,
That's
that is a
weird.
complete
Is?
sentence.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah,
With the little period at the end.
that's fair. That's fair.
Grammatically, it leaves a lot wanting, but technically, yes, it is a sentence.
I high five Norm. Good job, bud.
You see Louis take out a notebook and just start scribbling on it. And after a couple minutes, he stops talking, and after a couple minutes, he kind of puts it back away.
Well, that was an awkward silence.
Bartholomew, who decided that we're going to do this whole registry thing? Who's your king?
There's like a moment of silence as y'all kind of like turn to the innkeeper and he looks up and is like, "Me?
You're the king?
I don't think that's.
No, you
No,
talking to
his
me?
name was Bartman.
I don't think that was his name.
Sorry, yeah, it was
Bartaben?
Bartman. That was it. Bartman.
What was your question?
Who's governing this town? Why do we have to do a registry? I want to know who's the leader, your king.
Speaker Whalen. He's a good man. He's a bit preoccupied past few days with the execution of the wizard and whatnot, but once that's all wrapped up, he
Is that a
might
thing
be
that
able to
happens
meet
here?
this was a
No reason I'm asking. Just curious.
it was
Blind curiosity. I promise. No reason. I promise.
Yeah, say less. All right.
Stop. You can't steal my catchphrase, Travis. It doesn't matter what campaign it is.
No, we
Come up
can't
with your
use
own material.
Can use your words against you.
Come up with your own material.
says no, well, don't see much like that one, but he was hiring adventurers, sending them out to do odd jobs, and hiring townsfolk to do odd jobs, and then would kill them when he was done with them. Murdered dozens of people.
Oh, okay, good. I mean, no, that's not good. That's not what I mean.
Is this
Sounds like it's good that he was caught.
Is this the red wizard? Is that the same one?
Yes.
Okay. That was, didn't we catch him? Is that us, or is that somebody else? That was pre-knowledge, wasn't it?
That was not.
Okay. He was turning. People were seeing invisible people, or something like that. I think.
People were seeing invisible people.
Yeah, they were seeing things, and there were invisible people, something like that.
Are wizards invisible?
No, we should probably not be in this inn anymore. Is there anything else?
Oh, so
that
you're
we-
not staying here.
No, I'm sorry, we're not.
So am I doing?
Yeah, if you could do it three
Actually-
times ever, or like you could do it 3 times a day, right?
No. 3 times, like in general.
In general.
Well, until I gain necessary experience to be able to do that kind of thing. This is
Okay.
I'm borrowing this magic from nature's spirits. It's not.
It sounds like we're registering.
I would like to pull Bardaman over to the side. Hi, what's your largest room here? Like, do you have like a king suite here? Prince suite, maybe even.
Make the first roll of the campaign
Ooh.
with a persuasion check for me.
Okay. That is a 17.
Mm.
Unfortunately, all of the rooms are the same size.
Oh,
Tiny hut it is.
I don't know about that. He says he can do it 3 times ever in his life. I don't know if I really want to use one of the 3 times. We can just go over and register. I wink at you.
We could just find.
Okay, yeah, I'll register.
Perhaps
What's that? Sorry.
find a cave, perhaps some sort of embankment.
That's true. We've done that before.
Yeah.
What's the nearest
Didn't
cave?
you?
You're using a very we is not a it's not we as in me.
By the way, we traveled here, so we had to. What do you?
You can make your
Norm,
own
okay.
choices.
I didn't
Norm,
stay in a cave.
Norm, again,
So-
I'll high five you, Norm. What's happening, Norm?
I have a room.
You have a room. Where is this room? I'm sorry.
I point where my room is.
So, logically, if I lower my voice and kind of gesture away from the bartender, logically we could just go over there, and even if we signed the lottery, we're not staying here for very long. We're probably going to be moving on eventually, and even if they call our names, we won't be here, so it won't matter.
I'm not into the idea of even having my name. Someone's in there. Thank you. I'm.
Well, maybe we could go. We'll just go. Say we're going to register. We can go down there, and maybe instead of registering, if we agree to do the leader of this town some small favor, we can get out of doing it. Because
We could
people
do that.
need things around. It seems that all of the surrounding areas of Tintown needs help. So perhaps we could just go down there and
Actually,
use some diplomacy and offer to do a favor or something, and we won't have to put our names down on the kill list.
Give me a second. Actually, I'm gonna turn to Bartabin, and I'll say I think we came to the wrong conclusion here. I do have some tools that might be a little bit beneficial to you in your life, and I don't know how often you horizontal tango, but I do got some interesting things for you that maybe we could use to kind of convince you to possibly get in. You know?
When is he speaking of coitus again?
Oh, yeah, I assume that he's always speaking of coitus.
That's probably a fair assumption.
I go to the bathroom again.
Wait,
Okay.
Norm, before you leave, how do you spell your last name? I just want to make sure I get it right.
Alpha.
And I'll kind of look at Bartabin and wait the response.
I might be interested, but again, if you don't register for the lottery and you stay and do business in town, you know, you're subject to fines or being arrested or people being upset.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's say we don't get arrested. That sounds much better. But like, you know, are we guaranteed a fine? Is that what you're saying? If we don't register?
Louis, I know. I feel as though we should just go talk to the leader directly. I feel like as though we have troubled this man long enough, and he doesn't have any answers that we seek.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to. You know what? We'll be back. You're right. Maybe later tonight. And I'll kind of walk away.
How do you walk away?
I just kind of brush my hand.
Jauntily.
I brush my hand against his
Flirtily?
arm a little bit and kind of just walk away a little bit, kind of side eye him. And then...
I update my diary in the bathroom.
I have made 5 friends. Today is the best day of my life.
Incredible.
I will learn their names.
Louis, while we are waiting on our new friend, may I ask you a slight personal question, which I'm
Yes.
sure you're going to answer because of everything I know about you up to this
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Just from a purely a scholarly opinion, how many times would you say you fornicate in a year?
In a year?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can count that high.
All right, that's about the answer as expected. Never mind.
However, I do make sure to be, I don't know, somewhat smart about what I'm doing. You know?
Oh, of course.
I look at Gil inquisitively, like, yeah.
Yeah.
However, I do have to say it's not about the number of times. It's more so about the connection. You know, you gotta. It's more so just finding something special in a person.
Yeah. Do you mind if I write that down?
Yes, of course. You can
Just
do
for
whatever
future
you want.
reference. I'm just for future reference. Collecting data. You know.
You know, it's one thing to hear it from me, but I could always. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, and you know, even a live demonstration is even a better way.
Oh my god.
That's okay. I'm spoken for. I cannot
you're
participate in
spoken
such
for.
illicit
You
such
know,
illicit activities. I am flattered, however.
No, I do understand.
I do seek to end this conversation immediately.
You glance around and like every single person in the bar is like looking away, like, oh god, why are they talking about this here? Jesus Christ. Except for Ronaldo the Bard. He was definitely eavesdropping and like,
Oh, great.
you see his eyebrows kind of like,
Oh, that's a pervert.
Not a
dirty boy.
bard.
Does Icewind Dale have paper towels?
no.
Okay.
Why are you?
Norm comes out of the bathroom with wet hands.
They have towels, but not favorite towels.
Norm,
Just
Wiping it on his apron.
oh.
No, I just air dry it.
Okay. Well,
should we get going?
I have walked off like 3 minutes ago.
and
I'm just standing at the door waiting. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And I kind of walk beside Aventus and just say, while we're walking, and say, how long have you been married?
Oh, it's not a marriage; it's an engagement. And
Oh, that's awesome. How long have you known you and your partner?
oh, since we were children, it's rather troublesome and lengthy of a description.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. We've known each other for a day or something.
Several days, yes.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Well, I am a complete open book, so I have no secrets whatsoever.
Oh, okay. Well, I have known many married couples or people who are engaged. And sometimes they just need a little bit of spice. I'm not saying now. I'm just saying maybe later we can discuss.
So, are you heading to the town hall?
I go to
Yes.
Bardaman real quick.
Please.
So Bardman's been this like he's sighing, he's shoulder slumped, kind of mumbling, and then like he's doing his work, and then you walk up, Norm, and he's like,
Still
"What?
shaking.
Oh, sorry. What do you need, Norm?" You see that he's like he's losing his shit.
You don't have hand dryers.
No, here's a towel. Take it. It's yours.
No.
Norm, would you mind to come with us a little bit?
We have hand dryers.
How do you have hand dryers? Are these people that stand around and dry your hands for you?
That's what I have.
I really, how did that work underwater?
That's very easy.
What do you mean?
I'll show you
Vitamin.
sometime.
I'm gonna walk over to Norm and just wordlessly, like, you see through the snow goggles just a glint of icy blue light, and the water lifts from your hands and drying them, and then just kind of falls to the ground like freezing in flight. I just go there. It's over with. And I just kind of
See,
make my
now
way over
imagine
back
that,
hill.
but it's like a little man in a nice like little suit, and he comes and he do it for you every time you leave the bathroom.
But it's how does that work underwater? That's what I'm asking you.
It's
I
the little
turned back
things,
to
you know?
Bardaman. Do you want any Dyson air blades?
So you make your way over to the town hall, discussing the logistics of drying hands underwater and Dyson's air blades. Not a sponsor.
All right. Well,
Not a sponsor yet.
Yes.
so we walk to town.
You walk a couple blocks over from the White Lady Inn, passing the various docks on the frozen Loch Dineshire. You notice, Louis, the person who benefited from the East Haven ferry. You spot the East Haven ferry frozen in place at the end of one of the docks as you start to walk past, along with many other a variety of boats. Eventually arriving at the East Haven Town Hall. Norm knows this, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but it's this, like many of the other buildings in East Haven, it's the similar feeling of going into like a downtown area of a city. You can kind of feel the age, you can feel the history with it. That's how all these buildings are, because East Haven was one of the first like trading post towns. It was sort of one of those boom towns that just appeared and then has been here ever since. So as you walk into this the town hall, this incredibly old stone building. It's decorated with all sorts of oil paintings of life in East Haven from its conception up until now. You see that on the far wall to the left as you enter, there's this massive painting of the entire town, which, if you saw an Owlbear Rodeo, we'll say it's that one. Bam. The town of East Haven. And mounted on the opposite wall to the right as you enter is those of you who were there for it. Do you remember the trout, the knucklehead trout on the wall that sang and moved around because it was enchanted? It was maybe 1.5 to 2 feet long. They're kind of bigger fish, and maybe even a bit more. Mounted up on the wall on a wooden plaque and an engraved copper plate is a 5-foot-long knucklehead trout called Big Nuck, spelled K-N-U-C-K, like
I
knuckle.
point at it and say, "That's Big Nuck."
It's Big Nuck, caught by East Haven fishers a few summers ago. Norm, you know what to do. You've been here before, so you lead people. You knock over to the door to the administrative office, and as you're admitted, you see your old friend Ronald, this sort of gangly, straw-haired, pale-faced young man. He welcomes you in to this room of desks and filing cabinets and a couple large chairs. He's the only one working in here. And he says, Mr. Alphala, you've brought some friends here. How can I help you? Oh, and you see there's sort of realization. He says, oh, Mr. Alphala, I'm so sorry. I forgot to register you for the lottery, and I guess that's why they're all here. Oh gosh, let me get that. Oh gosh, let me get all that paperwork. And he starts fumbling.
You don't have to.
As he's speaking, whatever Big Nuck does starts playing. As you turn back, you see Casimir's just like unnaturally long arm just extended and slowly rescind back. What does Big Nuck sound like?
Big Nuck doesn't sound like anything. You reach out, start moving around, and it doesn't make any sound. Louis starts singing to himself to make up for it.
Yeah, you hear Casimir exhale a small disappointed sigh, and then he goes to join the others.
I will say, you don't have to do that. We were actually coming by to ask about ways to not be in the lottery, and maybe if you had something that could be done around the town to kind of prove that we are trustworthy people.
He looks up Ronald or Ron. He sets down this big ledger on his desk that's just littered with papers, and he says, "Well, I have to enter you to the lottery. It's the law."
Do you is the leader of your town in?
Oh,
I know these are troublesome times for all of us.
yes.
We were wondering if we may speak with him.
He's as I told Mr. Alfella earlier today. Speaker Whalen is a bit busy tending to the execution and making sure all the proper protocols are followed. You know, those wizards, they can be wily. We don't know what kind of tricks he has up his sleeve, so he's being extra careful with this one. So
would
busy.
Would he require any assistance in that endeavor? We have capable magic users such as myself in our group. We could possibly be of some assistance.
I think he might have it all covered, but he did mention that because the militia has been so busy with this wizard that there's a couple of jobs that have crossed the desk that need to be taken care of. He's not in right now.
Could we take a look at those? I mean, we would be glad to take care of some of these for you, and then we would come back, and by end of day, if you still require it, we could register at that point after we've done some work.
They're on Speaker Whalen's desk, and he's not in right now, and so he needs to process them and make them fit to go out. And, I can't. I don't have access to his office, so But
is it locked?
Yes.
I mean, surely there's a key somewhere. You are an employee.
I'm not
of this
allowed in his.
establishment.
I'm not allowed in his office.
Am I allowed?
No, Mr. Alpha. No one is allowed unless you have his permission. But the next drawing for the lottery isn't for another 10 days. So, let's we'll follow the rules for now and fill out the ledger. You'll get your tokens and all that stuff. And after the execution tomorrow, when Speaker Wayland has a little bit less off of his plate and that wizard's out of his hair, then you could speak to him and figure out ways to help him. Maybe get your name taken off of the lottery.
We could also just postpone the going into the ledger. You know, like why do today what you could do tomorrow? You know. I mean,
because then you could potentially get arrested and fined if you don't have your proper number.
That's fine.
So gonna...
It's no big deal. I high five Norm again. Well, you really?
No, this is Alan.
Yes,
I high five Alan.
Does Ronald have a desk with
He does.
papers on it?
Yep.
Is there stuff in his handwriting?
In his handwriting? Yeah.
Can I observe the papers and study the handwriting?
Sure.
Okay.
I love it. All right. Well, that's perfectly fine. I just, putting my name in sounds like that's a. I mean, we don't really live here. We don't have to do that, you know. What happens if our name's drawn and we're not anywhere close? Are you gonna send us a raven or an owl?
We'll typically maybe draw another name, and then the next time you're in town, there may be some kind of a questioning, maybe if you're following fine or a seizure of some kind.
Wait, so if we get our name in there, and you draw our name, then we get fined. And if we're here and we don't have our name in there, then we get fined. So really, the only way not to get fined is to stay here while we have our name in there and then get killed.
Have you ever thought of alternatives to human sacrifice, perhaps? Some form of prayer or song?
That's not my job, and those failed us long ago.
Well, it's every person's job to pursue venues of higher thought and think beyond what's required of you.
You said the other avenues have failed you so far. How is human sacrifice working out so far?
Well, we just started it a few months ago.
And has it made any changes?
Well, that's I'm not incredibly sure. I mean, it's still going on, but that's.
You're not sure? That seems like a pretty big thing to be sure about, you know? Like,
well, as you said, everyone has to do their part. I mean, maybe we're doing it right, but everyone else is doing it wrong.
Like, I can do
the other 10 towns could maybe do sacrifices.
Honestly, who was the one that suggested sacrificing? Because honestly, when you start suggesting sacrificing, that is when you get rid of the person that suggested sacrificing.
That's true.
It's a pretty easy
broach the topic.
That's true. Are they sacrificed yet? That is the question.
I don't.
I want to practice making my handwriting as good as Ronald's.
Okay.
You see Louis bring out his notebook again and start scribbling in it.
So, just to make sure that I am clear on this, if we stay in the town as travelers, we have to put our name in the lottery. We leave the town because we stay overnight, for one night. And if we happen to travel back through town, after our names have been drawn in the lottery, people who do not live here...
You're only here for one night?
It could be.
Maybe two, who knows?
You don't know.
We're not staying, we do not live here, we're traveling through.
Well, if you're here for enough days, then you do eventually need to sign up, but really,
what's the definition of enough days exactly? I'm just curious.
Well,
is there like a 2-day minimum stay?
If I could get you all to make a group, just straight up charisma check, each of you.
Okay. Can I guidance myself on this?
We're like hard pressing this.
What does your guidance look like? Are you willing to cast a spell
Hey
in
man,
front
if
of
the law
everyone?
sucks, the guys
Am I
who
willing
enforce
to?
it
I mean,
really-
I'm just gonna like. Can I just like
Cast a
kind of-
spell in front of everyone?
kind of cast a spell in front of everybody? Yeah.
You're more than welcome to.
I'm not getting
Actually, never
entirely-
mind. I remember this guy being a wizard being executed, so maybe not.
Oh,
Smart
shit.
plan.
I'm not yet entirely involved in the conversation.
God damn
Should I
it.
still roll?
You don't have to.
You said what kind of?
What happened?
Just straight up
Cover-
charisma.
Charisma.
Straight up
Incredible. Nat 20 minus
Ooh,
1.
Nice.
18.
A 13.
14.
Carson, I would just like to let you know that I rolled the dice you got me, and it rolled a 9 plus 2, 11.
Nice one.
Hey, that's average.
I truly don't remember.
It's
what
just
dice you
literally below average.
I just
I'm
did a
sorry.
hypothetical roll, and it would have been a non-natural one.
Nice.
Nice.
You see that after pressing Ron for enough time, he eventually kind of yields and he says, okay, so we don't really look at the ledger and pick someone and do that work until the morning of the new moon. Then the sacrifice is that afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And how do you? Who picks exactly? How do you pick?
well, you don't necessarily have to technically be signed up until then, but guards and certain businesses will ask for some kind of proof that you were signed up, just because they don't want to be get in trouble for harboring people trying to avoid the lottery, or if you heaven forbids that you try to avoid arrest and start a conflict in their place of business, then they don't want it. So it's just better that you do it in advance rather than waiting until the day of.
But we
Can I
don't
see
get in
how-
trouble if we wait the day of, because the rules say that we can. They're just going to ask us over and over again. That's fine with me.
No, you're supposed to sign up if you're staying here for multiple days.
Can I see how close
So
my handwriting
you
is to
you
Ronald's?
will sacrifice travelers who, yeah, okay.
Well, if they come
I'm
into
done with
town
this
and use our
conversation.
resources, yes, they need to do their
Um,
part as well.
we don't.
I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I
And
understand
I
why you don't have a lot of tourism in this town. It is absolutely dreadful.
What's happening here is a great tragedy with the never-ending winter, but the moment that everyone here decided that human life was nothing but a currency, I think that is a far worse blight than the winter could ever be. I think I agree with my friend Gil. I think that continuing this pointless will only frustrate us both.
I agree. Do you have like an IOU? Like, do you have like a card that says like, "Hey, come back later," maybe, possibly? That's
For
what
what?
the ticket's for. Right? I mean, for the possibility of talking to you later about this.
Before, where did you say your leader was? You said he was busy, but where is he? Where can we find him?
I think elsewhere in the town hall, probably in the dungeon, maybe.
Can you point us in that direction? Is that public access,
It
or
is
is that
not
one of
public
those?
access now.
That's unfortunate. What about private access?
It is private access.
All right, yeah, that
I'm
sounds
so
good.
glad I was looking.
That sounds good. All right. Well, and I kind of crack my neck a little bit and I say, like, it's a nice day
he's-
today.
He's about to do it again, isn't he?
I'm just
How
wondering.
close is my handwriting to Ronald's?
Make an intelligence check.
We've known Louis for like a week, and we already expect that every conversation that he has, he's gonna try that.
Turn to a proposition.
18.
Damn.
It gets pretty close.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
But eventually, Ronald's sitting there says, "We don't think lives are currency. It's just our part in all of this. By staying in East Haven, that's the sacrifice people are willing to make to end this, even if that's their lives. What they have to give."
That's kind of sad. Everybody can bake cookies. Like maybe they accept cookies. Have you tried that? Was that one of the things you tried?
I don't think they accept cookies, Louis.
But I mean,
kinda-
they're obviously not accepting sacrifices either. I mean, I'd rather make cookies than.
Some towns accept food, but we don't get the necessary supplies of eggs and flour and everything to do that.
That's unfortunate. This is nice. So where is this? All right. So like, when is he gonna come back?
I don't have his schedule yet. As far as I know, he's blocked off everything to deal with this wizard until his execution tomorrow, and then returning to his normal duties.
That's cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll just stay outside of town then, and come back in whenever we're able. Do you well.
Yeah, why did we have to stay in this town? Can we
Yeah,
just go to another town?
I think we came here for a reason. I believe we came here to help with the whole the ferry being shut down. And sounds like y'all don't want no help. Y'all'd rather kill us than have us help you.
Yeah, maybe if we get the ferry up and working again, you could get the resources, and then you could sacrifice that into the whatever, and then not the good people.
That would
Maybe-
be wonderful if you could do that.
Norm approaches Ronald.
And you see he like shrinks back because he's definitely now scared of you all.
I come in peace.
Mhm.
And I hand Ronald a slip of paper with all my information for the lottery. In as close to Ronald's handwriting as possible.
That's
He looks up at you. Says, you see a bit of relief. Says, "Hey, thank you, Mr. Alphala."
Do you need food?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though.
No. Like, you.
Me?
We have food.
You have food?
The yaks have food.
The yaks have food.
Do you need food?
Quite possibly. Maybe.
We also have hand dryers.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Norm. If you'll wait 1 moment, I'll get you your number and token.
I do not agree with this this practice, but chastising a worker about something out of his control is not going to get us anywhere either. So I'll sign the paperwork and do what I got to do.
Ventus, one moment. One second. You and I, we are both royalty. We are princes, all right? We have kingdoms that rely on us. If we are just sacrificed to this whatever, what you want to call it, what's going to happen to the state of your kingdom?
I don't intend to die here. I think that the easy solution is to simply solve this place's problems before we're ever at risk for doing anything, or ever or dying or anything. I think that it's a calculated risk.
Okay.
Norm writes in his
And I am good
diary,
at math.
Ventus won't die.
Also, how do you spell your last name? Just to make sure I get that right.
No.
Okay. Got it. Ventus, no. Got it.
Again, this whole actually, could you just tell us how the ferry shut down exactly? Was it just because the thing is the lake is frozen?
Yes,
Is
the
that
entire lake froze. Yes.
Is this is the same? Is this the same lake as the spirit comes out of allegedly?
Allegedly, yes.
Oh, the white woman.
Is there any? Is there any correlation between sightings of this spirit and the ferry being shut down, or the river being frozen over? Any stories of anyone seeing it recently before?
No, that's just no. Those are just stories that what's it? Bar's name, Ronaldo. He just likes to tell that myth. I don't know if anyone reliable has ever seen her.
Wait a minute. So you don't believe in a spirit that would possibly be on the lake. However, you believe in human sacrifice, which hasn't proven any kind of benefits yet.
Well, neither has food sacrifices or heat sacrifices, and people are dying from that as well. I don't
I'm just confused about the. Anyway, let's get all right, let's go to Ronaldo. I guess he possibly knows something. I suppose.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good day. I didn't mean to chast you as Ventus said. I mean, I did mean to, but I thought you could do something about things, but you couldn't. I'm sorry.
So, Alan, do you write your full name in on the paper?
Yeah.
As far as your like heritage or ancestry, what do you write down?
What does it say? What's the prompt exactly?
It just says like heritage. So you can put Minotaur, you can put Yak.
Yak.
Just a real yak walked up in here. What do you write down as preferred pronouns?
Very progressive death cult.
They're like, what's the favorite flavor of Kool-Aid?
He. Him.
I thought you were about to say a third one, and I was like,
Yak.
That's it.
The next one is occupation.
Occupation. Representation.
And then finally, your current residence, which, if you're going to stay outside of town, you can just put that.
Current.
Yes.
Norm takes it literally and puts down what's it called? The White Lady Tavern.
Okay. Yep.
The White Lady Inn.
Yeah. And then you are given a token made out of bronze with the heraldry of the town, which is a tower with a snowflake above it, and then carved with the number 13.
Token number 13.
Jacob, what name do you put down?
I put Ventus and I just put A, period.
Same questions. Preferred pronouns.
He, him.
And then your
His.
heritage.
Um,
Or ancestry.
it's complicated. I put half human, half genasi, because Ventus would not lie about stuff.
What do you put as occupation?
He scratches his chin. He's like, and puts scholar.
Freelancer.
Oh god.
And then
He's a
finally, current
scholar.
residence, I assume outside of town if you're not going to stay
Yeah.
inside. And you get a similar bronze token with the heraldry and the number 176.
Nice.
Okay. So after your brief stint at Town Hall, what is your next stop? Back to the inn to meet with Ronaldo?
Question.
Yeah, I was thinking we could ask him to go with us to the lake and see if we can find anything there.
That's the first question. Second question. What does this token look like?
A little bronze token with the town's heraldry on it.
Bronze token with the bronze. All right. Cool.
Do you remember what the town's heraldry was?
I wrote it down somewhere. Did I write it down?
I'm gonna say, does Louis remember what the town
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Louis actually legitimately does not know. That's a good question. Yes. No, Louis does
Perfect.
not remember.
So,
Actually, you see Louis take out his notebook, flip through the pages, and then close it again.
okay, so you leave the town hall. You leave Ronald sighing at his desk with his head in his hands. Maybe hear a couple choked sobs as you leave out the front door. Make your way back across the now dark, snowy town along the frozen edge of Loch Dineshire.
as we're walking across town, Gil just like walks up next to Casimir and is just like quietly fuming for a second, and then just quietly starts ranting, like eyes ahead, walking and just ranting to Casimir about the whole exchange. Just like, these people have no fucking honor. All they do is they're cowards that hide in their homes and throw people to the wolves because they don't know how to stand up and do something for themselves and face the challenges of the world on their own. And he's just losing it. Like,
drag them, Gil, drag them.
Casimir not used to hearing people talk, and like at all, or specifically to him, is just kind of like, and just kind of like, you know, is using his polearm as a walking stick, and as he goes along, just kind of nodding his head and like it like, you know, cutting across with an occasional like, yeah, good point.
Gil, try not to be too hard on them. They're simply trying to find a solution for a complex problem,
and they think
for which there may not be a solution.
They think the solution to a complex problem is to let others die in their stead.
Despair is a powerful thing.
Again, like I said, the first time someone brings up human sacrifice, you get rid of that guy. You don't want that person in your town.
That's true. And then you find out whether or not it worked based off the fact that you got rid of the person who recommended it. And if it doesn't work, then you don't have to do it no more.
Misery begets misery. Violence begets violence.
My people have a very particular philosophy about facing challenges and hardships. I firmly believe that there is more to it than just facing challenges of strength and body, which my people mostly espouse. There's challenges of spirit and will, and these people are failing it.
I think more of the issue here is the leadership of these towns that just decided that human life was the currency, or their own people suffering, whether it be food or warmth, giving these things up was the solution. But I guess when faced with an impossible problem, you search for whatever solution you find easiest in that moment. But
in all the time that I have spent around 10 towns, there's a lot of beauty in this place. A lot of things that I would not see if I had stayed home. But this place is ugly. It is why I've avoided it. I knew that if I came here, I would become angry.
You see,
I am angry with the
I don't
people.
come to the 10 times.
I'm angry with the people, but I'm angrier with those who take their power and turn good people into cowards.
You hear Ventus. You hear Win in the back, just like after hearing Ventus say that about how it needs new leadership, he's just going, "A new ruler."
Oh no!
Yes, this town does need a new king.
I'll just say no. I don't know about that. You should. I think that your people probably seems much better. Based off what you've shown me, I feel like your people are much more blessed to have you.
Oh, the kingdom of Galana is an incredible place. It's just far superior. This would not even be like one of what we would if the kingdom of Galana went to war with this little town. It'd be decimated in the blink of an eye, and then we'd completely rerun the entire place from the ground up.
well,
That sounds like a lot of work.
That day never comes.
I also don't believe that would be much of an accomplishment. Picking up a rabbit is not a excellent measure of strength, nor is hearing thunder crash, and destroying a town, decimating itself, doesn't seem like much of a feat in of itself.
It wouldn't be. I was considering suggesting it. I was going to send like a messenger, let them know, but this town is kind of just it's on its way out. There's really no point in sending the troops up here, and the fees it costs to really decimate an entire town and rebuild it. It's just not worth.
These are desperate people trying to survive. And what it saddens me, the measures to which they have gone. Perhaps we can help them.
Sure.
Norm, you said that you're an ambassador for the Y?
Yes.
Does the Y have like a king? Are you their king? You're not their king. You're just a spokesperson, right?
I represent the Y.
Are you royalty?
No.
Shame. I thought there was going to be another one of us.
You boys yik-yakking back there.
Are you royalty?
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Just the other day, you said that you were just the guys?
We were
Or-
gentlemen, but we dropped that whole ruse and then we just let you know that we're royalty. It was far easier.
It wasn't much of a ruse.
Ventus is royalty too.
Again, I think our new friend Norm is trustworthy, but also we should probably not go proclaiming that to the world.
I mean, listen, these people are in desperate need of some sort of leadership. I mean, letting it be known that we are royalty and that we are princes could be beneficial.
What does that mean?
I think could
Which
also
part?
invite bounty hunters or some other people to try and kidnap, kill us, hold us for ransom or something. But you know,
Norm will protect us, right? Norm, you'll protect us.
You're my friend.
There we go.
Is that easy?
Are you?
Win.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
You're royal.
Ah, yes. And then I just go on like an hour-long spiel about royalty and bloodlines and descendants and
Very excruciating detail.
Yeah. It's like that chapter of the Bible where like so and so begets so and so and so and so begets so and so and so and so.
Genesis, the whole beginning of Genesis.
The worst ever.
It's like 40 pages of lineage.
But also mixed
Not
with a
literally, but
little bit
also,
of like
yeah.
Game of Thrones where there is a
Yeah.
little bit of plot. Oh jeez. Okay. So walking along the edge of frozen Loch Denishir over to the White Lady Inn. As you arrive back, you see Bartaben sort of like gives you a nod, but will wait for you to approach because you get the vibe that he doesn't want to talk to you, so he's gonna wait on you to come to him. But
let's ask. We can ask that bard.
yes, Ronaldo will look up, stop his plinking on his fiddle, and say, Norm and others, how was it at the town hall?
Dismal, but we were wondering if you would care to summon your spirit for us. I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe the spirit might have something to do with the fairy being stuck in the ice. Maybe there's some kind of correlation, or even if worst case scenario, maybe we can find a treasure or something. That sounds fun.
I had never thought about it. I thought that was the Frostmaiden's doing, was Frozen Lake, but I never considered it could be the lady.
I want to talk to the White Lady.
Well, how about this? So there's still another, let's see, the sunset. I've played this many songs. I still have about another hour and a half to 2 hours before seance time. So why don't you grab yourself a meal, a few drinks, and I'll call you whenever we're ready.
Oh, okay. Cool. You can do that.
So he says, take a seat. I'll even play a few songs first. And he walks over, starts plinking on his fiddle. And so for the first time, we'll start introducing characters and describing them. But before that, we'll take a quick toilet break as we get into sort of the second half of everything, starting out with some character descriptions and introductions, and doing this seance. Woo! All right, so we will be back in chat in just a minute. Where is it? There it is. Holy cow, Alice. And then the fake me in the chat. Before we actually get started, I wanted to do some shout outs.
Yeah, sometimes at the start. kind of farther back. There you go.
I just turned my
Yep.
camera back on, off and on, and it works. So
There's a new prediction of if Ronaldo can actually summon the White Lady, and if he can teach people how to get white ladies.
All right, everybody,
Yo,
get
what
your
do I-
notebooks.
But thank you,
write
everyone,
this one down.
who's hanging out. Spookum, thank you for being here. Of course, Richard. Man, I miss Richard. Richard, I want to give you a hug.
I got to see Richard. Wait, time is weird. Was it last?
No, you
last
did
Saturday.
not. You did
Oh,
not.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very jealous.
Not this past Saturday, but the one before that. I think.
Damn, I don't think I've seen Richard since like 2019, maybe.
I need to reach out to
I've
my
seen-
littles again. It's been a
Too
while.
long.
Thank you, Richard, for always being there. Thank you, Drew, for being here as well. And it's hard to tell real names from bot names, but if you're there and you're lurking, thank you for being here. Oh, Emily's there. Found you. Met some bots. But thank you guys for hanging out. Woo! Remix the cams again? Let's do it, guys. We'll leave the call and come back and ruin it.
What if we
Oh,
didn't?
What if we didn't? Okay, so you guys are heading back to the White Lady Inn. You've met with Ronaldo. He told you to come to the seance to speak to the White Lady and maybe question her about whether or not she is responsible for the freezing of Loch Donashir, and ask her whatever questions you may want to, because she has some secret knowledge. But to pass the time, he recommends going in and grabbing a meal, because a seance can be a bit demanding. You kind of have to put your spirit into it. So a good, nice meal, some good warm drinks will do you good. So, for the first time, except for Norm is an anomaly in Icewind Dale in that his thick fur gives him like his warmth, and so you kind of see him for what he is. There's no heavy coats and goggles and scarves. It's just this big yak man. But as you guys start grabbing seats and taking off your big heavy winter coats and hats and scarves and gloves and snow goggles and everything else,
I copy motions.
yeah, you pretend to.
I don't, because I don't have any winter clothes.
You just have the
Except for my-
scarf and little mittens.
And the hoodie and the
I just wear
my
normal
hoodie.
clothes.
Oh God, you guys, you're gonna die.
I mean, I mean,
fire
what?
resistant.
That is something that struck me when the art was coming through. I'm like, these character designs are awesome, but damn, y'all are not decked out for winter weather.
I ain't gotta be, motherfucker.
I think
My jacket is fur lined. It's okay.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Okay, my question. Are Goliaths just racially guys who wear shorts when it's snowing out?
Yes.
Okay.
There's
good.
literally Goliath art for Icewind Dale where like they're not like fully sleeved. I think I saw one where somebody was shirtless. Like, come on.
I think it was described in the last session something, but it wasn't actually officially notated in my character sheet. But I don't know if it was actually canon or not. But I made it my character design, whether or not it's actually doing that.
We'll find
All the
out. I
guys that wear sandals all year long.
So, did you want us to describe our characters?
Yes. Sorry, we got
Okay.
super excited. We'll start on the screen. We'll start with Jacob as Ventus starts to doff some of his winter wear.
He probably won't take off his jacket all the way. He'll probably like unzip it a little bit, but you would see a around 5'10", human-looking, fair-skinned, with light brown hair, with just a couple strands of greenish hair in the front. Bright green eyes. Wearing a very fine, like very new looking leather coat, kind of like a an aviator's flight jacket with kind of like the fur collar, and you see it's furred on the inside as well to maintain body heat. Wearing very new looking boots, new looking trousers. The only thing on him that doesn't look super fine, like it was super expensive made, that he's wearing fingerless, very like hand knitted looking gloves and a hand knitted looking scarf he wears around. And the scarf is bright green with just a little band of blue at the end. And on his head, on kind of on top of his very like windswept looking hair, is a pair of like flight looking goggles, presumably to keep the wind out of his eyes. And people that stand around him for long enough will kind of feel like just a warm kind of breeze around him. And he kind of the kind of smell that permeates the air around him is very like fresh and kind of like a summer breeze.
I imagine people kind of crowd around you for that. They're like, oh, summer. He smells like the beach. That's a little Seinfeld reference for you. Austin, now that you just took a fresh bite of food, I'm just kidding. Do you want me to skip over you and come back to you? Okay. I know I touched on Norm a little bit, but Alan, if you want to more vividly, I guess, describe Norm, touch on some of the details that you wish.
Yeah, so Norm is a yak-looking fella. He's super hairy, like all over. It's like a brownish fur, almost getting to the red, kind of thing. On his head, it's so bushy you can't really see his eyes. It looks like kind of like one of those shaggy dogs, right? And yeah, his fur is like dog. Yeah. And his fur is kind of like almost like blended with like, it looks almost like a black soot. And it kind of like just like little twinges of like black sparkles, I guess, around his fur. And he has like a blacksmith's apron with like, you see like the index card that he had, a bunch of like, as well as like some other cards and like a notepad and like some pencils, little tools and stuff on his like, the pocket parts. And he's got these like, those like cargo pants that are like also meant to be like outdoorsy cargo pants where like you can unzip the pant part and turn it into cargo shorts. So he's wearing that too. And he's also got this like yellow hard hat, and it's like it looks like it's just too small, like just a little bit too small to fit on his head. And every now and again you can see a wobble a little bit if he leans a little bit too much in direction, but it's still on him. Yeah.
And I thought it couldn't get worse beyond the part.
It always can get
And
worse.
then you said those freaking cargo pants, zippers.
The pants of Gil's people.
Oh yeah, he's just wearing shorts everywhere. I imagine that the Goliaths think the Yaks are like cowards because they have the option to wear long pants.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely. Yeah, I was a fool for even. Yeah, the Goliaths would never need.
Goliath straight up walk around in booty shorts.
Yeah,
like
Jesus.
That's
Christ.
Yeah,
just booty shorts.
Yeah, Austin didn't get the full body, but if he had, he'd be wearing Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, where can we go to your village?
And as Norm is sitting down to like chow down and like rest and relax, you see him like he takes off his hard hat and like slings it to his back, and you see that it's like, held onto his head by like kind of like this lanyard thing, like those like hats, right, with like that leather strip.
The Josh
So that you
May
can, like-
sun hat with the.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And you see him like loosen his apron a little bit, like a guy would with his tie, right? And he like half unzips the cargo pants just to like, you know, really like let it all out.
This
Yeah.
really has like old
Let
man
him-
unbuttons top button to like let room
Yeah.
for her belly. Kind of
Let,
beautiful.
what out? His calves? Are they that meaty? Are they pulling at the fabric of
You
his
see, like,
fucking-
Tufts of fur just instantly poof out.
And for a little context before we get Gil's description, Austin, your tribe has had interactions with these yak folk before. Particularly, let me double check my lore here. Austin, your
There's
tribe is
a
the
lore Bible on the yak people.
lore Bible of the yak.
Is it the
I'm writing that down.
Akhenathi or the
War battle on the
Thun
Yak people.
That's not right. But essentially,
they.
like, you would have sort of passing knowledge of them, and what you would probably know is them sort of as like a baby society. Like, they definitely were reaching out to a lot of the other tribes around and being like, hey, what do you guys do? Like, what's your deal like? And doing some trades and making some alliances. Shit. I think it's in my Alan notes. Alan, what tribe did I say that you were cool with?
Thun Lakalaga
Oops.
at Wormdoom Crag.
Yeah, so they were friends with the opposing ones, I believe.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
So about that.
So you would, I mean, that's up to you to decide whether you personally would be like,
I already
oh
know
no,
how
but
you
you
feel
know
about
that the opposing tribe was a little more open to the yaks coming in and like trading and stuff. Your tribe, not so much.
I learned a little bit about Goliath as they are represented, and I think I had already formed how Gil feels about stuff like this. So
But Gil, describe yourself.
Oh, right, sorry. My brain turned off for a second. Remember how small I am. Oh, cool. So, Gil is like stone gray skin, Goliath, standing at about 8 feet tall. Just buff and packed with muscles. I mean, the guy, he kind of looks from the outside like the way you would imagine a Goliath would look. Tall, covered in muscles, doesn't entirely cover every bit of skin on his body because it's not cold enough for them. He has leather bracers with kind of like fur, like a fur lining to help with like grip and chafing on the inside of them. His armor is sleeveless. His armor and clothing is sleeveless. You can see that he has taken off his chain shirt armor. It's just very standard steel crafted with fur underneath, and he has this long like cloak that he kind of keeps pinned back on the back of the armor out of the way of his arms whenever he needs it, but usually kind of pulls it over whenever he's just kind of traveling. The leathers and furs that he is wearing look handmade and hand treated, and it almost looks like it's like, especially particularly the cloak, looks like the parts of it have been stitched from several hand stitched from several different animal hides, and it looks a little ragged, like it's seen the wear of travel and conflict. But he has the typical darkened markings and stuff that is natural to Goliath's skin, like various lined patterns and things like that across his skin, and notably a particularly dark mark on his chest
which is actually showing on his arm in the artwork, but me. He has two small golden earrings, one in each ear, completely hairless, as Goliaths want to be. And he has these shining silver eyes. But notably, he looks like a typical Goliath, but the two notable things being the strange birthmark that he has and the bow that he carries. The bow that he carries is about as tall as he is, and it is thick, and it looks like it is made from carved bone with a very dense, tightly wrapped bowstring, and the arrows that he carries with him are in a handcrafted, seem to be in some kind of handcrafted, expanded quiver, and they are considerably longer and thicker than most normal arrows. And he keeps a small a small steel axe at his hip that has some etchings into it. It's nothing fancy, it's pretty plain, but it looks sturdily made.
Nice one. So, now that will bring it to Louis.
As Louis sits down, you see a dwarf with a white beard that is kind of a little bit longer, maybe like that. But it looks oddly out of place on a stone-colored skin dwarf with white spiky hair kind of swooping back, and he has a hand-knitted orange and blue beanie that sits on top of his head, kind of situated just right, kind of touching his horns that come out maybe 4 inches on the top of his head, curling back, and at the top of them they're gold tipped. He has many little gold jewelries around. He has a nose piercing, some eyebrow piercings, some ear piercings, and around his neck he has a orange and blue scarf, also hand knitted, and some orange and blue knitted gloves as well. He has a purple hoodie that is kind of rolled up to his on his elbows, and some just stylish shoes and pants to kind of match the whole outfit. All of his clothes seem just a little bit too long for his body and a little bit too tight for his body. For reasons you're not sure, however, he also has a quite a large handmade satchel or backpack rather as well, that you can kind of see some items poking out of here and there, that seems to just be random things that you might assume someone might sell, and maybe some items that never mind, but some useful items.
If you listen closely, you can hear a sound coming from Louis' bag.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I forgot to mention. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
I forgot to mention he also has a staff that's a little bit too long for him as well. That at the end of it seems to be unnaturally green in the area around him, and at the top has some mistletoe.
Of course.
Cute. Now to bring it to the prince himself, Win.
Yes, Prince Win, Galanda. You see a blue-skinned triton with very dark irises, but very dark pupils, but extremely bright golden irises. You see his hair is he has blue dreads that ombre into like a lighter blue at the end. He's currently tied by like a golden band. He's wearing very sleek black and gray armor with gold trimmings, and his cape is white on the outside with golden trimmings, but on the inside it reflects a constellation. So it looks like you're looking into the night sky almost. He carries a golden trident along with him, and a very huge and bulky shield that looks like it may not be best fitted for him. But that is Prince Win.
Okay. And then last but not least, Casimir.
So, as people are, removing their outer vestments in the interior here, preparing for a meal, what have you, you see this hulking figure who stands not quite as tall as Gil. Stands a little under 7.5 feet, but with a hunch. As you could tell, you may reach height of about 8 feet were you to stand erect. Person is dressed in this heavy kind of like Inuit inspired winter coat, these heavy fur boots and whatnot. It's middens, and it takes off the middens to reveal these long, sinewy looking hands at the end of abnormally long arms, and each finger tipped with a slightly curved claw, and the hands themselves covered in a thick, dirty white fur. As the hood goes back and begins unwrapping a scarf that is wrapped around the face, and removing a set of kind of bone-carved snow goggles, the ones that just kind of have a slit in them to help ward off blindness from the sun's reflection off the morning snow. You see the face of a bugbear, a bugbear of the particular kind of subspecies of the northern regions, and who here resembles more of kind of like a polar bear or exterior. Or this is the face of, I think for most it would be hard to judge age with bugbears, but it would be almost immediately apparent to anybody watching that this is an old bugbear. Or you see through the snow white but dirtied fur of the face, just lines of age. The right ear is mostly torn off in what looks to be a long-healed injury, and over the left eye is a nasty scar, which has left a patch where no fur grows back, and has left the eye milky and white, and you imagine sightless. Whereas the other eye has an icy blue iris that kind of pierces out even in when the snow goggles are on. And you see kind of this maw with these bristling and fangs and teeth, all of which are kind of yellowed and chipped. This is clearly somebody who has spent their life ranging in the wilderness and has survived for decades in the wild. This carries is a leather hat on the back. When I come through.
You're kind of cutting out just a little bit.
Okay.
It's like your mic just stopped picking you up for a second.
Okay. Person carries a leather pack on their back.
Check your unplug. It sounded like it just almost like it came unplugged a little bit. Now you're muted. You're so good at this.
Incredible.
Oh, that sounds good. Yep.
There it is.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. Person carries a leather pack upon their back. Hanging from it is kind of this, like sealskin canister bristling with these hooked harpoon javelin things, and they carry with them a bill hook, which is a very long pole arm, which is made of black iron and is rusted and kind of chipped all over the place. Clearly an old instrument of war that was salvaged in some years past and has been used as in the course of surviving in this harsh wilderness. But this kind of hulking figure with furtive looks unwraps himself and kind of just settles into his seat, looking around anxiously.
Awesome. And you sit and enjoy, well, most of you enjoy a meal of the typical sort of winter greens, potatoes, and fish, when you, of course, abstain from fish and pass it over to someone else's plate for the time being. But enough time passes, and you may, talk a little bit about the town and some of the things that brought you here, but eventually Ronaldo emerges from a back room, ceasing his playing, stepping back and disappearing for a bit, but then coming out, and eventually start calling people in to join his seance. So you can kind of quickly finish up your meals, down your drinks, get your stuff, and make your way to this back room. It's sort of like a common space that he's sort of taken for himself, but immediately you see that smoke from burning incense has clouded up this room. There are multicolored lamps and multicolored silks hanging from the rafters, and light from different candles in different corners and alcoves are providing illumination in the room. And also a circle of uncomfortable looking people with their hoods pulled up and like awkwardly sitting there with candles in their hands, seeming as they also got pulled into this seance or sitting there awkwardly with candles. Eventually, Ronaldo gestures for you to join these people on the floor on these different rugs and pillows as part of this circle, while he moves up to sort of the front of the room in between these two windows, and sort of waits for everyone to sit down. Eventually, pulls his sleeves up, his little halfling arms, closes his eyes, and starts to almost sing a bit, intoning, "Lady who watches from the lake, come to us in our darkest hour. Tell us what you've seen." And he holds up his arms, his big baggy sleeves draping down, and nothing happens. You all all the guests with their hoods up kind of glance for a minute. And you all kind of look at each other from across the circle. But
Is this supposed to happen?
Louis, yes, Louis, Wynn, and Casimir, you all hear something for a second. And you look up, and the big glass windows with all the smaller panes on either side of Ronaldo, there's ice creaking up and frosting over the window, turning it into this kind of opaque, icy wall behind him. And then another moment passes, and then one by one, all of your candles that you were given go out, plunging the room into a bit of darkness except for the few lanterns hanging up from the rafters.
Foul magics.
Do I see any kind of Did he create? Did I see him cast like a spell of some sort?
Make an
Other than
Arcana
just-
check.
Arcana?
I would also like to
You
do
can
that.
as well.
My dice just fell to the ground. It's no big deal. Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
I want to relight my candle.
I got
24.
13.
What do you do, Alan?
I want to relight my candle.
Like take out a flint and steel and like
Yeah.
stars.
I'm gonna stop you while you're trying to do that. Put my hand on yours and kind of hold it a little bit.
So
see.
Louis and Ventus looking at Ronaldo performing this seance, trying to see if he's casting magic, causing this ice to appear, puffing out these candles. But he's not. He doesn't seem to have any magic about him. But when he opens his eyes and looks at you, there's a kind of a flash of white, but then it fades. But then he starts gesturing to the circle and says, "The White Lady of the Lake, she is close. Help me welcome her, bring her, and call her into the space so you can ask her anything your heart desires. Quickly, help me." And sort of ask you to open your spirit up and welcome her into the room. So,
White lady, come to us, white lady.
Ventus, is that what you do?
No.
Okay, what do you do, if anything?
I don't do anything yet. I am observing.
Okay.
I am at, if anything, I am a bookish sort, and I am taking in this new data and seeing what is happening.
I look at the water and do a beckoning motion.
Great. Gil, what do you do, if anything?
I stand and wait.
Stand and wait.
Arms crossed, like kind of like arms crossed, just like, We'll see how this goes.
Okay. Casimir, what do you do?
Wait, did he just generally ask us to open ourselves up?
And
Was that-
and call forth the White Lady. Reach
Cool.
out to her.
Like,
And you see people kind of
I
awkwardly
like
start
to say
mumbling. Some people just kind of like
White lady.
kind of bow their
Yeah.
head. Like it's kind of the instructions aren't clear, so everyone's kind of doing their own interpretation.
yeah, with the trepidation of like a child, Casimir just kind of under his breath goes like, "What lady? What lady? Are you here?"
Like it. Win. What do you do, if anything?
I'm looking around at all of this, and then I look at Ventus, and I'm just like, I see if he's doing anything. I see that he's not doing anything, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like as a prince, it'd be kind of weird if I'm asking someone to like. It's just no. It's a no from me.
Okay, and then Louis.
Louis is going to kind of just take off his shirt and say,
I hate you so much.
Foul.
and he's gonna say,
Jesus.
White Lady, please hear our plea. We just want to know more about your wonderful presence, and I want to show you a good time.
I just lean over. Are you trying to fuck the spirit?
I do that fishing pole thing, you know, when you pretend to grab someone from across
Yeah.
the dance floor and then like reel them in while chanting
I-
"White
if
lady,
I-
white lady."
If I see the people that are from Icewind Dale start to like say something, I'll also like kind of like Casimir, like, white lady, please come, because like in my mind I'm like, I don't want to be like offensive to like a cultural thing, so I guess I should do this too.
Well, okay. At this point, it is too late because now I need Norm, Casimir, and Louis to all make persuasion checks.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yo,
Travis, carry this.
2.
White lady. White lady.
I told you whenever Logan was like, oh, I give you anti-inspirations.
No, can I actually? Come, my lady. Come, my lady.
Stop.
Butterfly, sugar baby.
Stop it.
That's so good. I rolled a 13.
Okay. And Alan?
It's like Michael Caine. I got.
Come, my lady. Come, my lady.
I got a 15.
So 15, 13, and a 2. 2 out of
Don't you forget it.
2 out of 3 of you needed to succeed, and you needed a 12, so you succeed.
Yeah, boy.
Hey.
Oh, my lady.
Lower
And
those
what
expectations.
that means, the ice continues to frost over the windows. The room starts to get incredibly cold. And before even Ronaldo says anything, all of you feel this sensation that someone has entered the room. Like a new being has walked in. You can feel it in your bones. And a moment passes, and Ronaldo says, "She's here. She's receptive. Your good hearts welcomed her. You can ask her to bestow whatever knowledge she can upon you. Whatever she can." And starts gesturing to all of you and says, "Whatever questions you have in your heart, you ask them now. Reach out to the White Lady, and she will answer as she can."
Did you happen to freeze the lake?
You see, there's a couple moments that pass, and then you see in the frost of the glass a line appear as if a finger is being drawn across it. And it eventually forms the word no.
Do you happen to know who did?
Starts spelling out A-U-R, and immediately you all know what it's about to say, and it says Arl.
That's real cool. Do you know how to reverse it?
And at this point, there's a pause. You can almost feel like a tension form in the room, even though nothing's happening. And then you see the frost start to crack a little bit. And then one of the glass panes explodes inward and showering the few people at the front with frost and glass. And then Ronaldo collapses to the ground.
That didn't seem like much of an answer. Ronaldo, you okay?
He eventually kind of gathers himself, and you see that he's kind of weak. Grabs the windowsill and he says, "She did not know the answer to that one. And I think she left. I think that may have been the final straw for questioning today. If you have more, I can..."
Is there a limit on questions, or is it just kind of left up to her?
I would have asked less questions if that was the case.
It's dependent on her abilities to part from the lake for that long.
But can we just go to the lake and ask her?
It's not how spirits work. You have to call them forth from the ether.
I know genies typically do that. Though the 3 wishes thing is, do spirits have like a 3 questions limit?
That's a good question.
Sure, maybe. Yeah, she'll sometimes, depending on the questions, do 3. Other times. Oh,
Do you need something?
I need a drink. I need some water or something. I'm gonna go sit down.
Wait, Rena, have you written down the questions that were asked before? I mean, I feel like if there's a limit, you would kind of like track that.
I would have really rather have known that. I wouldn't have just started asking her a question. I would have asked her if she wanted more, you know?
This entire town's leadership is just.
Norm is hunched over, just staring at the lake, defeated.
Says we can make the attempt tomorrow. Just need to rest. He kind of wanders over and sits down at a table and drinks a little bit of water.
Well,
What if we go look at this? What if we go check out this lake ourselves? I feel like Renato is being a little dramatic.
Well, I don't think we don't really have anything else to do tonight, so we might as well. Shouldn't hang around. We shouldn't dawdle there too long.
I very am sorry to ask all 3 questions. I really would have.
It's okay. You didn't know. There were no hard and fast rules for this whole talking to spirits thing. So
I really do wish that he had some kind of manual for this. You know,
Maybe like a pamphlet or something. Say, come see the White Lady.
That would
Only
be-
ask 3 questions.
I would love to read that book if it existed. That would probably be a very good read.
If I could read, I imagine it would be a good one.
if I
3
could
questions to ask a white woman. It's just need something.
Oh my god. Gil,
Ask the white woman, where are you at?
As Norm is hunched over looking at the lake defeated, Gil's just gonna give him a quick pat on the shoulder and just say, "It's alright, buddy." And then he's gonna walk over and make
You'll
sure
get him
that-
next time.
Make sure that I immediately blanked on the bard's name is okay.
Ronaldo.
Just gonna like
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, thank you. And he's just gonna kind of give him a look over. Feel any pain? Anything out of sorts?
Oh, little lightheaded, that's all. Takes a lot out of me. I've heard like mages and the such kind of go through a similar thing after using up their magic. Kind of similar feeling, I think.
Let me see if I can help you get a little of your get up and go back. And I'm just gonna kind of like just quickly like squeeze his shoulder, give him like a point of lay on hands. It's like kind of like an energy boost more or less than an actual
His
healing.
pupils
Just kind of
dilate for a second. Like, whoa,
that hopefully should help.
does the trick a bit. Yeah, I would call her back if I could, but
Don't worry about it.
yes.
Just making sure that you are fine.
Oh, yes.
Like I
That's
said,
very kind.
spirits, it's a tricky business. It can take a lot out of you.
Of course. Yeah.
Or it can be dangerous. It depends.
It has happened a time or two, but you know, as long as the people who come into the seance have good intentions and good hearts, it's nothing to worry about.
I kind of look at Win and just
Your shirt is still off.
yeah. I put my my scarf back on, and I'll walk up. I'll walk back up to Ronaldo and say, oh, "Man, I can see that took a lot out of you. I do know something that would kind of rejuvenate you and will take out more. You know."
Can we? So should we go to the lake now?
We should go to the lake now.
Fucking Casimir's long arm grabs Louis by the scruff of the neck. He's just like, it starts dragging him. Just,
Okay, off to the lake we go.
Later
Heading
tonight.
to the lake. What's at the lake?
The lady, yeah.
It's yes, but I mean she's gone back to her home in the ether.
No, I mean we
Maybe
don't
there-
necessarily looking for her. We're just going to go look at the lake.
Can I?
See if there is anything we can do.
Oh.
And about that bit about as long as good people with good hearts come in, be prepared for the ones who aren't. You never know how it will react. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, like Louis.
And careful out there on the lake. It's mostly just ice and stuck boats.
I have perfect intentions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So you guys gear back up, head outside, and you're already at the sort of the lake shore. You want to walk along the docks, walk along the shore, just walk out into the ice and see how far you can get?
are we coming up on a stopping point? Because
Yes.
I gotta get up at
Yes,
5:30.
that kind of leading into what is your next move? Like, what is your plan?
I
besides just
I would
make?
say to start at the dock, and then we can examine from there, because walking on ice is typically not a great decision.
No.
Okay.
I've got
Um,
shape water. It'll be fine.
So, you walk for several minutes, kind of pacing up and down each dock. You see that there are a couple boats that have been removed by fishermen who have taken it out to the... Is a portion of the lake that isn't frozen, but it's really far in, and sometimes people drag their boats all the way out there to do some fishing, while most boats have just been frozen in place. But eventually you reach the dock after a little while of walking, where the East Haven ferry is frozen in place. The ferry that transports people and cargo all up and down Loch Dinishir, which is now frozen and causing the other towns to suffer because of it. And also East Haven to suffer from it. But you see that it's just a very simple keel boat, the East Haven ferry, and it's all trapped in the ice at the end of this long, very long wooden dock. Small cabin on it. It's nothing crazy. It's just a fairly standard looking boat on the lake. But Norm,
Hey.
as you get closer, walking up the dock and making your way closer to the East Haven ferry, examining all around you in this frozen lake up ahead, Norm, if you will make a survival check for me, and if someone wants to help or do anything, you can.
I will help him.
Okay, so Norm with advantage.
Survival?
Yep.
Where's my big dice? Ooh, thank you. Survival. 16.
Okay. So as you're walking, Gil, you spot a set of footprints near the frozen in place ferry, which are, of course, if you see footprints, that means they're recent, at least in the last couple hours. So you quickly spot them, and Norm, when you look at them, you've seen these footprints before, left behind by an invisible dwarf that you encountered.
Who I think is a wizard.
Who you think
I'd
is
say-
a red wizard.
There's a wizard over here.
Is it me?
You're a wizard?
Yes.
But Norm, instead of just one set of footprints, it is 3 sets of footprints leading around the dock and into the stationary frozen over East Haven ferry.
There are 4 wizards here, including half the royal people here.
What?
Okay. All right, and where are they at currently?
Wait, where are they heading?
You see that they are leading just sort of to and from the ferry up and down the dock, made within the past 12 to 24 hours.
I say that.
Well, let's go find them. Maybe they can help us unthaw this river or whatever.
But do you think these wizards are of any relation or know the wizard that was killing people that is captured?
If they're red,
Are they?
I don't know. I only see footprints.
And pointing out the footprints and all you taking a look, you look at Louis, you look at the footprints, and you think about it. These are dwarven-sized footprints.
I thought you were gonna say they were. Louis forgot that he walked here earlier.
If you
And
follow the
you-
tracks, it goes straight to Louis right now.
And you say that they are. You just see the footprints. They're invisible?
They're invisible red dwarf wizards. Not like the stars.
You you can tell that they are both dwarf and red and wizards from these footprints.
Yes.
Quite impressive.
Maybe not red.
Okay, maybe not red. You can
No,
tell that
just-
they're wizards. How can you tell that they're wizards? Sorry.
Let's just see where the tracks lead.
Yeah,
let's
that's,
do
that's,
it.
I
would
said
like
yes. That
to-
sounds like a good idea.
I would like to propose caution. If what our friend here says holds any merit, this may not be friendly.
Mhm.
I would rather be safe than sorry. So caution.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
I'm gonna pull out my.
Who's the most chill person in the group?
What do you mean chill?
Depends on your definition of chill. Because Louis has none of it.
Like who has the most calm and I guess neutral demeanor?
I, the prince.
Oh yeah, okay.
Maybe
Neutral demeanor?
Casimir.
Yeah, maybe Casimir.
Yeah,
I'll
Casimir
go up
stays
to
pretty stoic.
Casimir. And I whispered, Casimir,
Yeah.
could you tell me about wizards?
Okay. I mean, I don't know that much about them, but I know, some people get their magic from blood or talking with nature, or making some sort of deal with something powerful. But wizards, they get it from reading. They read their books and they learn how to cast their spells and whatnot. Yeah, it all comes from book learning. Is that you got that?
I can read.
Good for you.
Way to rub that in, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of a dick move, but
Yeah.
okay.
Do I know that Casimir can't read?
I mean, he said it earlier.
Yeah, I mentioned it in passing.
Do you want to be a wizard?
Do I want? I'm not smart enough for that.
Get that
Here, and I'll take out a note card
You're already taking some. Okay.
with an alphabet on it.
Thank you. I have no reference for what any of these mean, but I'm assuming this symbolizes that you will teach me. Is that? Am I reading that correctly?
Reading.
No, that's the alphabet. I can teach you later what it says.
Okay. Thank you, Gnome. Should we survive this, I believe I will take you up on that.
Cool. You can be a wizard.
Oh my
Casimir ruminates for a moment. He's just like, is somebody more awkward than me? He just kind of like puts his weight on his bill hook and just like,
That's the thing.
I somehow feel better about myself.
yeah.
As you
This first one is A, and then I walk away.
I strive to create a fucking character with no sense of how to fucking navigate social situations, and Alan one-ups me in the first session.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh man, what's your charisma?
It's a -1, Alan.
Hey, me too.
you have the same charisma.
Fucking incredible.
I love it. I love it so much.
So making your way
Who
to
am I
the
traveling with?
end of the dock to the old East Haven ferry, you see that the deck of it is of course covered in snow and ice, but the footprints are still there leading up to the cabin door, which has most of the ice and frost chipped away from it.
Should we proceed quietly?
Quietly. Sure.
Are there any windows?
There are, but they're also very frosted over and dirty. So unless you want to go up and like,
Can I?
Can I cast like start a firebolt in my hand with my the hot air and just kind of like quietly like melt the.
Won't that just shatter the glass?
Hold on, one second. I just go over and
I may not be a wizard, but I've learned a thing or two living out in the wilds.
I'm gonna once again cast Shape Water, and I'm gonna try to like wipe away just an imperceptibly
little
small
bit,
bit. So I can look through with my one good eye.
Norm is astounded because he thinks that all just came from learning one letter.
he drive your hands for you.
Yeah, are you expecting Norm to connect different phenomena?
Object impermanence.
Inside,
Oh my lord.
inside the cabin, through that little bit of ice you melted away, you see sleeping rolls, different pouches and bags. You see papers rolled up, seemingly on a nearby table, but no one inside.
I turn back to the others and just quietly relay that.
Are there any like lit candles or anything that could signify that someone's is in here or been here?
Should we try to go inside? There's no one there.
I mean, why not? You know?
I go
Might as well.
inside.
Yeah. Let's open the door, I guess, or the place. Go inside.
Well, knock first.
Why? There's nobody's there.
I mean, just in case.
I go inside and knock at the same time while taking out my index card.
Before you do that, Casimir,
Uh-huh.
you have dark vision?
I do, yes.
Go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage for me. Because of dim light.
Can I guidance him first?
You could guidance, yeah.
Okay.
Well, at disadvantage, it's a nat 1, so I don't know that that's gonna matter all that much. Yeah, some fucking snow gets in my eye, and I just blink it away.
Okay. And then Norm bulls his way into the front door.
And I say, I am Norm Alphala.
All right,
of
so
the
you're saying that
nearby-
you creak open the big metal door, and that's where we will stop for tonight.
Hell yeah.
Can you go at the metal door into which we've established there's nobody there, and even if there was somebody we didn't see, you're announcing your presence.
Yeah, I come
Oh
in
my God.
peace.
Ugh.
You guys.
Arl's gonna kill us, and we're gonna deserve it.
I'm gonna find a way to sleep with Oral.
Oh my god.
I don't know about that.
That's gonna
I hate it here.
I'm gonna,
Oh no.
I'm gonna find a way.
I would like to say that the captions at the bottom translated oral to oral.
Oral. Yep.
I'm gonna find a way to
Oh.
sleep with oral.
That tracks.
Oral with Arl.
This,
I
is
didn't
really,
even-
this campaign is the party is really like kind of split in half.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
really like heads and tails. There's real no.
We got goofy old. I don't know how, but Norm has made Casimir a lot more goofy.
It's
Just the existence of Norm made
yeah, it's
Casimir
fucking
just like
osmosing.
Gil and Vinta is still up here being of being stiff boards, but Casimir over here getting like,
Man,
I
Richard,
resonate.
thank you for that Dr. Horrible reference. I hate the homeless.
I was wondering what that was from.
Yeah, it's from Dr. Horrible.
The real world,
Yeah.
people in positions of political
I
power.
hate the homeless.
Direct quote.
What do you
Miss
mean?
problem.
The spikes underneath the benches in the city are just there for decoration.
Jesus. Oh no.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
God, it's gonna be something. I still feel like all of this stuff is gonna happen, and then still whenever you're fighting Arl or something, Louis is gonna be like, "Fuck me like you mean it."
And Arl will
me
take
like you
it as a
love me.
challenge and
Yeah.
fucking kill
Yeah,
him.
that's true. That's how he dies. And, stuff happens afterwards. What a funny way to have that end, by the way. She kills him, and he's just like, "We get to continue." It's same, but different.
I hate it here.
Oh no. Oh no. Round 2, motherfucker. You want to do this right this time?
Oh my god. Well, let's change the channel this. Different emotes, let's change the channel this season. Yeah, so I took away the Cloudbot betting stuff because it just kind of clogs up things that I miss everything.
It's because he hates happiness and
Because I
fun.
hate happiness and fun. As far as emotes and changes, I just added some new emotes and kind of shuffled them around. The main difference is that the Sharn Knights character emotes are now bits emotes, so you spend some bits or purchase and spend some bits. I'm not sure the proper phrase is. And you get those emotes, or you can use your tings to unlock random emotes or choose an emote to unlock. But there are follower emotes, there are subscriber emotes, so the different tiers, there's bits emotes, there's so many now. But first tier subscribers get the most of them through follower, and then the first tier there's like 8 or something. It's a bunch. But yeah, and then I'm hoping to keep adding more and more and more. Yeah, the gamble bots. But yeah, so hopefully there'll be some more emotes, and any additional emotes will end up becoming like emotes that you can just unlock via spending ting. So some of them will just be kind of random for you to get eventually. So it'll be fun. Yeah. Very much looking forward to some of the new ideas. I definitely have saved the Norm hand raised in greeting. This is it. Just the hand up.
And just like awkwardly close enough that you don't know whether to high five it or not.
You just high five. Always high five.
Man, always high five it. What do you mean?
A few months a year subscriber. That's awesome. So yes, thank you Richard for hanging out. Thank you Emily for hanging out. Thank you Drew for hanging out. Anyone else I missed? It won't let me click on it for some reason. Can't tell who's a bot and who's not, so I'll just say thank you to anyone who may have been here and hanging out and lurking. Thank you to people in the future who watch this. It
In the
was
past.
quite the first session. It definitely categorized what the rest of the campaign is going to be like.
Yep.
Yep.
Except it's going to be laced with so much tragedy that it's going to be real awful sometimes.
It's fine.
I'm super pumped. All the announcements right at the beginning, so I'm not going to take up any time doing them right now. I'll be sending out some freaking invites to the Discord, and we'll be doing some more stuff over the next coming weeks, so I'm very much looking forward to it. We got another Inspire, and let's do a thing before we super log off. Does anyone feel like I have an idea, but I want to get the party's opinion. Did anyone feel like they very much tapped into sort of their character traits and really made decisions based on their character flaws and bonds and things and ideals?
Yeah, nod your head, Travis.
Yeah, I mean, I did. What do you
I
mean?
mean, consistency is key, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was going to nominate Austin for getting a point of inspiration for the sort of Gil anger
Mhm.
scene and frustration, because that was good. I like that.
That was very good.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll second that.
Mhm.
I'll second that.
Okay, so congratulations,
Mhm.
Austin. You get a point of inspiration. Or the inspiration. So now you don't get any more until you use it, but you can also give it to others and get more for doing the same thing.
Who's you gonna?
Okay. So with that, that's how I think how we'll balance it out. Is if I forget to give them out in the session, we'll do it after. We'll nominate someone. So with that, we already have our next couple weeks planned out, so we will definitely be here next week. Can't say same place, same time.
Can I get a Dale, yeah, brothers?
Dale,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do
it for
Dale. Can that not be the thing?
It's too late.
So we'll be
Yeah.
here
Dale,
next Monday.
Praise hell and praise Dale.
At the Dale after tomorrow. That's what time we're doing things.
Yep, next Monday, 8 p.m. and the day after tomorrow, and we will see everyone then. Good night.
Good
Nice
night.
to see you.